What's up, everyone? I'm Nick Campo. This is
Big Boss Ben.
and we are the
Lone Guys Podcast.
Thank you for tuning in. We're coming to you live from the Campo Media Group studio. We are a production of NBI Financial Group LLC. If you haven't done it yet, go ahead and bang that red subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Oh, and just so you know, we're giving away $1,000. All you have to do is subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment on our videos. And after the comment, leave your Instagram handle. And don't forget, it can't be like great video. It has to be something that has actually a thought on what it is we're talking about. And while you're at it, go to all of our every social media channel you can possibly imagine. We're NBI Financial Group LLC on all of them. Ben, what do you got for us today?
So, got a question for everyone. What is 5.25% of 31 trillion?
I don't know. What?
$1.6 trillion. To be exact, 1.627 trillion.
What is that?
That is the amount of interest that the U.S. government pays each year.
How much is it?
1.627 trillion.
So we pay $1.627 trillion in just interest on our national debt every single
Right now. Oh, but wait until that credit limit goes up.
You think
It's going to have to? Oh, it has to.
They set a hard date, and the hard date is June.
Well, that date has moved several times. At first, it was middle of July. Then, middle of June. Now they're saying June 1st for that. That means spending's increasing. How's it coming earlier? Because they are hitting that number. They are racking up more debt quicker than what was initially expected.
It's absolutely wild.
In the face of hitting that debt limit.
You know what I think about every time I think about the debt ceiling?
What?
How hot Janet Yellen is.
That's right.
Man. that debt limit. I mean, come on now.
It's your crush.
Oh, she's a huge crush of mine. Yeah, it's just, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's putting the American people in a bad spot. It's putting the working class for sure in a tough situation, because who do you think is paying back all that debt?
Exactly.
Get ready for your taxes to go up when it comes time to actually start paying some of this debt down.
No kidding. And you see all these things coming out from the White House, from Janet Yellen. White House released something else today about how, you're about to lose 8 million jobs. Stock market's about to collapse if we can't raise the debt limit. That is all political pressure. And that's what drives me crazy. And we went over Janet Yellen's comments last week. They are trying to scare the American people for their own political gains, because the negotiation, who cares about we need to work on balancing the budget. We have to have a plan in place to balance the budget, to move forward so this doesn't keep happening. We can't just raise the debt limit, because guess what? 1.6 trillion. What is that doing to inflation as well? We're raising interest rates another quarter. Was yesterday?
Terrible idea.
Right. Another quarter. They're talking about another quarter in June, another quarter in July. I mean, at this point, part of the reason they're raising it is to keep up with the excess government spending. And a lot of that's, interest. You have to have a plan in place to get it. Yes, right now it has to be extended. We don't have enough time, but you have to have a plan in place moving forward. There has to be some gains.
They're not going to make a plan.
No, they're not. It's a game of chicken of, what are we going to do? One side saying no cuts, one side saying we're going to drop what the other party wants to do. It's the fatal flaw of a two-party system. And it's putting who's at risk? It's you and me, all the American
working class,
everyday American people.
It's the working class American that's at risk. It's the working class American that they say they care so much about. We have to do this for you, but it's not for us. How about this? Stop fighting proxy wars. That will bring our budget down a little bit, right?
Yes.
Still have a strong military. We can have a strong military, but be, America first.
Right.
And I know that's a controversial statement to a lot of people. What I mean by America first is worry about our country here. Instead of sending trillions of dollars to Ukraine or overseas or Iran, they sent billions of dollars, I think it was, for gender studies. How about this? Let's go fix Chicago. Let's go fix Detroit. Let's fix New York City, Atlanta, Los Angeles. Let's look at maybe resolving the issues on our streets, right, instead of everybody else's street. So that would definitely probably bring the budget down as well. Number two, to me, is, hey, let's have an actual budget. Let's look at line item by line item by line item. Rand Paul does a very good job of this. Every year around Christmas, he releases basically all the overspending of the U.S. government. He goes through the budget line by line and says, okay, we're spending money here. We're spending money there. We just built an Obama reading center. Whether you believe he was a great president or not, why are we spending government money to build a building and name it after the president. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like,
It's ridiculous.
We don't have to do that. We have libraries, public libraries, that we can use to teach people to read. Why do we have to have another building and spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on another building? So we're looking at the budget, and then you have Jerome Powell, who's like, oh man, spending's too high. Well, I guess he hasn't been looking at manufacturing numbers. He hasn't been looking at retail numbers. I guess he hasn't been looking really at any numbers. And he keeps talking about inflation, but he doesn't realize the housing numbers are lagging. And I got really curious. We asked a question about this the other week on a couple weeks ago on our podcast. And the question was, is he doing this on purpose or is he just dumb? And the answer to that question is neither. He's a lawyer. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
He's an actual lawyer. He's not an economist. How is a lawyer in charge of the Fed? How's a lawyer the Fed chair? I don't understand, but it makes a lot of sense. Because one thing I know about lawyers is they lie, they squirm, they throw people under the bus. They aren't afraid to hurt people. You know, let's just look at defense attorneys, for example. Defense attorneys are either representing a criminal or representing somebody who's innocent, right? If the criminal has enough money, they're going to do whatever they can to get him off. If the innocent person is poor, they're just going to cut a plea deal and say, hey, serve your time. It'll be fine. You'll get out soon, even though that affects them for the rest of their life. So lawyers are used to just doing whatever benefits them. So what benefits Jerome Powell in this instance is, let's hike the interest rates, because that way we can quell government spending. Who cares if it hurts the American working class people? Who cares if it is going too far? Who cares if the housing numbers are lagging?
Right.
And May 10th, we will find this out. And inflation's actually down. Who cares?
We will.
Who cares, right? That's Jerome Powell, but he is a lawyer. How a lawyer is the head of the Fed chair? Can you explain that to me? And it's not an economist. Can you please explain that to me?
No, I can't. I mean, I don't even think anyone can. Well, I mean, they can't because it's politics. That's the reason why. But it's it's absolutely ridiculous. Like the entire excess savings for the American people right now is $900 million. $900 million. Right now, our government is racking up $1.6 trillion in interest each year. Like, how does that make any sense?
Tell me this.
How and you're looking at, how are we going to solve inflation? How are we going to do this and that? Not necessarily by jacking up interest rates.
No,